Yes, this just in, breaking great news from France. Now, if you're looking at the news the last little week, every single headline is not great news. But I want to bring you some of the great news that did happen from this tragedy. But out of tragedy comes some great things. So, breaking great news from France. Let me share it with you. First was Ludo Bombas. He is originally from Congo, and he jumped in front of a lady he was with at a birthday party and probably saved her life. She was also injured, but he died, and he died trying to save another person. For me, that makes humanity grow greater. A single act of kindness throws out roots in all directions, and the roots spring up and make new trees. So Ludo, the roots are spreading of what you've done, and spreading great. Another thing was the security guards and the police during the attack just outside the stadium. One security guard stopped one of the suicide bombers, and the suicide bomber blew himself up afterwards. But imagine what could have happened if he had entered the stadium. The police also went and risked their lives, like many of them do every day, and tried to save people, look after people. So they are true heroes. Humanity, again, because of the security guards and the police, humanity grows greater. Kindness is stronger than any iron bars, any bullet, and any bomb. Another great news that came out of the attacks. A reporter was there and he had a smartphone on, and he captured some of the display of people helping each other as they came out of the concert hall. Some of them shot, wounded, but they were carrying people away to safety. Some were carrying on the back, some were dragging people, looking after people. And also a journalist opened his home and he pulled people in. And as he pulled someone in, he also got shot in the arm. But that didn't stop him. Again, humanity grows greater. The simple act of caring is heroic. These are heroes. Another one too, just in the same alleyway. A pregnant woman went out to save herself and she was hanging off the ledge. They were hoping someone at the bottom would help them. But of course they were bleeding and dying and couldn't do anything to help. So a boy pulled over and held her. I don't know how long. His name was supposedly Sebastian. So Sebastian held on to her until she finally couldn't hold anymore, and he pulled her up, even though they had no safe room. He doesn't know what happened to her, but he survived. But again, a great act of heroism to look after this pregnant lady. Again, humanity grows greater. There's no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting someone up, like Sebastian did to that pregnant lady escaping. Passerbys were looking after the fellow citizens, grabbing them, helping them, looking after them. From the police to the medics, the doctors, but even people there. They were told to go home, but they were willing to support their countrymen and their fellow people. Humanity again grows greater through these acts. When you are kind to others, it not only changes you, it changes the world. These people did little small things, but made so much difference. They should have been scared of their own lives, running away, but instead they thought of others. There was a bookstore nearby. I can't remember the name of the bookstore, but it was a famous one. Let me look. Bookstore was Shakespeare and Company. And they sheltered people from the storm of the bullets and brought people in. And someone said, wow, there's some quote on the wall that was so meaningful. And this was the quote: "Be not inhospitable to strangers, lest they be angels in disguise." Maybe we are all angels. We are all strangers. But we can all bring something to each other. But this bookstore showed that not just they have read the wisdom from the books, but also the wisdom to look after people. The French team, this really touched me. The French team stayed with the German team. The German team couldn't really go back to their hotel because there was bomb alerts and bomb threats. So the French team, instead of going home with their family, I believe in one of the French players lost a cousin, and another German player also had someone injured during the attacks, or he couldn't find her. And the French team stayed with the German team in the stadium until 3 a.m. Now, if you look back, how many years ago were they fighting each other? Were they killing each other? This wasn't that long ago. It's just in the last century. And now football teams playing each other and looking after each other. This is incredible. This really touches me. So the world can change. Again, humanity grows greater. France and Germany, big enemies before, working together, staying together, looking after each other. I love it. No act of kindness, no matter how small or how medium or how large, is ever wasted. To the French team, wow, this giant act of kindness. And I think England and Wembley Stadium will share with you those acts of kindness. As the evacuees were singing, as they were leaving, they were singing the national anthem. They just started singing as they went down in fear and other things, that they all came together and sang together. Again, we are one. All the French people were one. Parisians opened their doors. Strangers, people they didn't know, they said, come on in. We will look after you. Everyone showed their heart. And another one that was tweeted all around the world was a Sikh. I believe he was living in the UK. Maybe he called temples in France. But he wrote this: anybody who's stranded in Paris and needs shelter and somewhere safe, any Sikh temple will be happy to accommodate you. Immigrants, people of different color, different race, different religion, who cares? Humanity. You cut us, we bleed. Everybody is looking out for everybody. I believe that. Because humanity is getting greater. Taxi drivers. That night they said free cab rides. Wherever you want to go, whatever you need, we will look after you. No fares, no fees, we will look after you. They decided to look after people. This is incredible. Humanity grows greater. There are three things in human life that are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. The taxi drivers and the French team, they showed the kindness. There was lineups to give blood right away. There were so many people that I believe the Red Cross had to turn people away. People were told, stay at home. There might be other threats. But of course they went out and they tried to give blood. There was also a musician. I don't know where he came from. Maybe it was Germany. But he brought his piano over. He drove 400 miles, something like 500 kilometers. And he played Imagine, I believe, outside of the theater. A Song of Hope. And I remember my teacher a long time ago, I went to Catholic school, he played this song in one of our schools and he got in trouble for it because it had a quote, imagine no religion. Whether you agree or disagree with that song, it's still an incredible song, and the focus, the inspiration behind it is really peace. There's no labels, nothing that divides us. We all have maybe different gods, but we all are humans in the same way. The world shows solidarity. We are one. Look at that. The French Eiffel Tower is dark, but all around the world they showed the tricolors of the French flag. You can see in France today, that was recently or last night, Sydney Opera House. You can see all over the world, even in Asia and outside of some of the places where the Parisians just came out, candles, flowers, anyone and everyone. Gestures of support, thinking about those people that were injured, that died, the acts of kindness. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear, the blind can see, and I really believe even the dead can feel. Positive symbols started to spread. This is a beautiful one by a graphic designer, I believe in the UK, French background, called Jean Julien. And the pencil is stronger than any gun. I think most of us will agree with that too. And he also made another symbol that spread around the world. And this one, wow, look at that. And if you haven't been to the Eiffel Tower and gone underneath it and be at Champ de Mars Park, just enjoying the vibe, then do it. Go to France and support them in their tourism and their people and their food and whatever you can. And again, solidarity, all humanity is one. Humanity grows greater. So these attacks might seem so terrible, and of course in months and years people have to live with it, and they are for the people that lost family members and friends and are affected by it. But again, the roots of this can spread. We can turn the pain into gain for the whole world and do better things. A warm smile is the universal language of kindness. And I just want to end with this video, the great news of humanity growing stronger. I want to leave with a quote and a little poem. And this one is from Invictus. So you might have heard about the movie. And it was about Nelson Mandela's story, but a very powerful poem, I believe, to him while he stayed in prison over 20 years, almost 30 years. And when he came out of prison, he said, I'm just back from a long vacation. This is how we can turn this madness, this craziness, this terror into more peace, into more reconciliation, into more caring. And of course, I'm not perfect at caring. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, bad things in my life. But again, I'm making this video. I spent time on it because I want to give a little bit to my friends in France and the people I care about, and people who have other people in France and Syria and Lebanon and Palestine and Israel and around the world. Doesn't matter where it is. Humanity is one. Invictus, out of the night that covers me. Black as a pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horrors of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am captain of my soul. So remember, kindness. Let's spread it. Small acts. Let's talk to people. I met some people at dinner just talking to me because of this feeling in the air. Let's spread that all over the place, because nothing can beat humanity growing greater. So that's the breaking great news from France. A lot of great news, how people looked after each other, protected each other, and cared for each other with kindness. And I'm going to keep spreading every day some great news from around the world, because there's so much of it to spread. So let's focus on turning the pain of all this into gain for many years, for many people, for all of humanity. Peace. See you later. Bye.